Muy buenas tardes. Encantada de estar aquí con ustedes hoy. Mi nombre es Lina Escobar del equipo Caldo. El día de hoy nos acompañan Lady Velázquez de Colfuturo, Judy Macmillan de la Universidad de Waterloo y Frederick Barrett de la Universidad Laval. El día de hoy nuestra presentación la vamos a dividir en tres partes. En la primera parte vamos a ver qué es caldo y cuáles son y qué hace caldo. En la segunda parte vamos con la información general por parte de las universidades y su postulación. Y una tercera parte vamos a ir con las preguntas y respuestas para que nuestros panelistas pues las puedan resolver. Bueno, ¿quiénes somos y qué ofrecemos? Bueno, Caldo es un consorcio de universidades canadienses líderes en investigación que ofrecen programas de posgrados de alto nivel en inglés y francés a estudiantes de toda América Latina. ¿Qué hacemos? Formamos alianzas con organismos gubernamentales y contamos con socios de financiamiento en América Latina. Tenemos convenios con más de 9 países, desde México a Chile, con organismos como CONACYT, FUNED y COLFUTURO en Colombia. Proporcionamos orientación y apoyo a los candidatos de América Latina en su proceso de postulación en los programas de posgrado en las universidades miembros de Caldo. Somos el primer punto de contacto de todas nuestras universidades. También fomentamos alianzas entre las universidades miembros de Caldo y las universidades de investigación de Latinoamérica. Como ustedes saben, Canadá es el segundo país más grande del mundo con una población de 38 millones de habitantes. Las universidades Caldo están ubicadas en las provincias de Alberta, Saskatchewan, Ontario y Quebec, que es nuestra provincia francófona. Nosotros como Caldo estamos ubicados en la provincia de Ontario. ¿Cuáles son o en qué podemos ayudarles en Caldo? Les ayudamos a identificar los requerimientos de admisión, explorar opciones de financiamiento en Colombia, en este caso pues con Colfuturo, encontrar información que necesita antes de llegar a Canadá y una orientación general para postular al programa de posgrado de su interés. En nuestra página web es la mejor manera de contactarnos y es llenando este pop-up que aparece en la parte inferior derecha. Diligencian el formulario y ahí pues van a, digamos, hacer el primer contacto con nosotros. Algo adicional que tenemos en nuestra página web es que tenemos un buscador de programa. Entonces, en el primer campo, pueden poner el programa de interés o una palabra clave. Si no tienen claro la universidad o digamos que si no saben si hacer una maestría de investigación o una maestría profesional, entonces dejan los campos en blanco y le dan buscar y les van a aparecer todas las opciones que tienen, digamos, esa palabra clave. Aparecen las universidades con las que tenemos convenio. Y cada link pues les lleva a la página de la universidad pues directamente para que no tengan que buscar como dentro de la página de las universidades. Estos son nuestros links de contacto. Al final de la sesión vamos a compartirles los correos de todos los panelistas por si más adelante se les genera alguna otra duda o en caso de que no se les resuelva durante la sesión. Le voy a dar paso a mi colega Julie para que continúe con la presentación. Oh, perdón, a Frederick. Sorry, Fred, you are.
No problem, Lena. So let me just share my screen. You can see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfecto. Buenas tardes todos. My presentation will be in Spanish, but I will be talking in English. So let's go. Okay, so as Lena said, my name is Frédéric Verret, and I am a student information specialist at Université Laval. It is my pleasure to share information with you today about our university. So Université Laval is located in beautiful Quebec City in the province of Quebec. Quebec City is the capital of the province of Quebec, which is located on the east coast of Canada. So the city is located close to major cities such as Montreal, Ottawa, which is the capital of Canada, Boston in the United States, and Toronto. So the province of Quebec is officially a French-speaking province and this is very visible in its capital, Quebec City. In fact, our city is a terrific place to learn French, as there are many opportunities to practice the language. So that being said, many people in Quebec also speak English, which can be very helpful. Quebec City was founded over 400 years ago by the French explorer Samuel de Champlain. The city is known for its charming mix of European-inspired architecture and the modernity of life in North America. The images here reflect the charm and history of the city. And in fact, Quebec City is actually a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Quebec City is popular for its music and cultural festivals that are offered throughout the year. Plus, the city is home to many park and green spaces and is close to some beautiful provincial parks and waterfalls. Besides the cultural activities, Quebec City also offers a very favorable economic environment. The unemployment rate in Quebec is among the lowest in Canada, and many jobs are available. Plus, the affordable cost of living makes Quebec City very attractive, especially for students. Quebec City can be found among the top-ranked cities in North America and in the world in many publications. For instance, here we are constantly ranked as the top destination to visit in Canada. Quebec is also a wonderful city for families. The culture values, the work-life balance, and there are many resources to support families in our city. Quebec is also one of the safest cities in the world. Finally, with its high quality of education and low cost of living, Quebec is one of the best cities in the world for students. Now that we have talked about the city, let's talk about the university. Firstly, Université Laval is ranked among the top 20 French language university in the world, and is also ranked among the best university for student satisfaction in Canada. So that's something we are very proud of. Université Laval makes major investments each year in research and innovation, ensuring that we are always among the best financed research universities in Canada. A commitment to sustainable development is part of the core mission of the university. We are ranked 6th in the world and 2nd in Canada for our efforts to fight climate change. The university is located at the heart of Quebec City. So the campus is nearly 2 square kilometers in size and is conveniently located next to grocery stores, restaurants, and many other services like large shopping centers. Plus, the campus is a major hub in the city's public transportation network. In short, all of these features make our location very convenient for students. Might I add that 60% of the campus is comprised of green space, walking paths, wood and bike paths. It is a very pretty environment throughout the year, and you will often see students, faculty, and staff members taking walks, jogging, or riding their bike during the day in order to enjoy some fresh air and sunshine. So the university has over 550 different programs, and of that number, 280 programs are for graduate studies, so master's and PhD. It is important to mention that our school about our School of Language. So as I mentioned, we are a French language university. So the School of Language offers a wide variety of courses in foreign languages, but they can also offer you tutoring and support to help you with your French. International applicants qualify for a tuition exemption for taking French immersion courses as part of their bachelor's, master's, or PhD programs. So basically, students are charged the Quebec rate for French courses. 47,000 students are enrolled at Université Laval, and the vast majority of which are studying at the undergraduate level. Of that number, 17% of students come from other countries. So in fact, around 120 countries are represented in our student body. This multicultural environment creates a very enriching academic and socio-cultural experience for our students. Université Laval is home to around 1,550 teaching and research laboratories that house state-of-the-art equipment. As one of the major research universities in Canada, it is critically important to us that we offer ideal environments for the pursuit of research projects. The university is proud to be home to 4 Canada Excellence Research Chairs. So briefly, these 4 chairs are in the areas of photonics, metabolic health, neurophotonics, and remote sensing of the Arctic. So our professors and their partners join forces on large-scale interdisciplinary projects that address the social, scientific, and economic challenges of the future. Laval is home to a variety of major projects related to sustainable development in the Arctic, health and wellness, artificial intelligence, information technology, and more. So in the following slides, we will explain the admission requirements and the admission process for Université Laval. So admissions is determined by the quality of the applicant's academic record. There are other criteria that may be considered, so be sure to check the program description to see if there are other requirements that are specific to that program. So you have the link at the bottom of the page. Unfortunately, that part of our website has not been translated, so it's in French only. But if you have any questions about our programs or admissions, don't hesitate to contact us. In many cases, applicants are required to identify their research supervisor before applying for the program. So then again, visit our website for more information. The web page address that you see at the bottom of this page, however, it is translated, so it's in French, Spanish, and English. So how to identify your research supervisor. So we have many professors and fields of study. You must take the time to go through our website carefully and to really learn about the professors that you will approach to be your potential research supervisor. So in most pure and applied science programs, your research supervisor will recommend a research topic. So in many cases, you'll be contributing to the efforts of a team working on a funded project. The process of finding a research supervisor, it's approach this process as though it were a job search. So you must communicate very clearly, pay close attention to your writing, style, grammar, and spelling. Remember that professors, although accessible, have a limited time, so ensure that the message is short and to the point, and then give them the time to respond. So you have on the screen the documents that you should add to your application when you're writing to professors to see who would be willing to supervise your research. So once you're ready, and you have found a professor, we invite you to submit your application for admission on our website. So be sure to respect the application deadlines. So for a fall application deadline is February 1st. So of course it's too late for this fall. We're looking for applications for fall 2024. And for the winter semester, same thing. It's July 1st. So it is already too late for this winter, unless you have already found a professor. Otherwise, it's for next year. So in addition, it is advisable to submit your application for admission as soon as possible in order to avoid delays in your immigration procedures. So the process is electronic, so you can upload your supporting documents directly into our online admission system that we call Mon Portail. And here again, please note that the system is currently only available in French. Did you know that the tuition rates in Quebec are among the most competitive in North America? So this is one of the reasons why education in Quebec is so popular with students from around the world. Tuition fees are based on your study profile and the number of credits per semester that you register for. So regardless of whether the teaching method is face-to-face, distance, or a hybrid. Under Canadian immigration laws, international students must be enrolled full-time for their study programs mandatory semesters. So it's usually 12 credits at the either master's or PhD level. And it's generally, it equals 4 courses per semester. To this, you must add budget $14,350 for living expenses. So as for tuition fees, you pay the tuition for each semester according to the number of credits for which you are registered. You will determine your course load and your course selections with your program director and research supervisor. You must enroll full-time during 2 semesters each year unless your program requires you to be enrolled in learning activities or in research during all 3 semesters of the academic year. So as you see on the screen, the tuition fee for a research-based master's. My next slide is for the PhD. So the good news is at the doctoral level, all foreign students who enroll full-time at Université Laval benefit from an exemption scholarship. So you pay the same tuition fee as a Quebec student. So this represents a reduction in the cost of studies by approximately $42,000 in the course of 4 years. We have other types of scholarships available. So they are not reserved exclusively for academic excellence. Eligibility criteria vary greatly and can be based on admission, mobility, leadership, excellence, financial situation. The Students Awards and Financial Aid Office that we call the BBF lists over 3,000 scholarships that are offered each year to undergraduate and graduate students enrolled in a full-time program. Might I add that Graduate Studies Awards help master's and PhD students at each stage of their programs for admission until their diplomas are in hand. So that's something that you are also, you can have access when doing a research-based program. Also, many faculties offer financial support equal to the grants provided for research by various agencies. So for more information, contact your faculty program director. Thank you for your interest in Université Laval and for your attention for this presentation. So we invite you to connect with us via social media platforms shown on the screen. We also encourage you to subscribe to our international applicants newsletter. You will receive helpful information, including admissions information, updates when our representatives plan to travel to your area, and much more. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Fred. And now, bueno, ahora vamos a continuar con la presentación de Julie, que es de la Universidad de Waterloo. So, Julie, you have the word.
Helps to turn off the mute button. This many years in, you'd think we would have it. Can everyone see the screen okay?
Yes.
Awesome, thank you. So happy to be here to chat with you all today. My name is Julie Macmillan. I'm the Associate Director, Graduate Admissions here in Graduate Studies and Postdoctoral Affairs at the University of Waterloo. Just a little bit about where we are. So Waterloo is located in southwestern Ontario. We are in the city of Waterloo and about 1.5 hours outside of Toronto by car. That being said, traffic can be a little bit of a nightmare from time to time. So it has taken 2 to 3 hours, depending on what's happening. The city of Waterloo is a community focused on students. We have 2 universities and a college located in about a 20-minute radius of each other. And we also are home to over 500,000 people. We have some great events that take place on a yearly basis. We have Oktoberfest, which is our, or North America's largest Bavarian festival. And we also have the world's largest maple syrup festival, which takes place in Elmira, just a short drive outside of Waterloo. So lots of little communities that you can connect with as well. We are a leader in Canada. Changing the world begins with a passion for discovery, broad research intensity, and a focus on frontier disciplines. So we have a Nobel laureate here at Waterloo, 5 Killam Prize winners, 71 Canada Research Chairs, 1 Canada Excellence Research Chair, and 2 Canada Excellence Research Chair laureates. We have 25 plus university and Senate approved centers and institutes with world-leading expertise that includes artificial intelligence, automotive, cybersecurity and privacy, energy, global governance, nanotechnology, population health, quantum information, and water. And we were glad to be nominated Most Innovative University again by Maclean's for 2023. The University of Waterloo has earned a reputation as Canada's Innovation University. We were founded in 1957 with a class of 74 engineering students, and we have definitely become a magnet for talented and enterprising students and faculty across a broad range of disciplines. So we have 4 main campuses, about 190 plus programs. We have 231 million in research funding in 2021-22. We have right now about 44,000 or so students enrolled. As my colleague from Laval mentioned, our cohort of undergrad students is larger. We have about 6,000 or so grad students, and about 40% of those are international. We have our main campus, which is here in Waterloo. We have our Kitchener campus, which is our health sciences campus and is home to the School of Pharmacy. We have our Cambridge campus, which is home to our School of Architecture, and our Stratford campus, which is home to our Stratford School of Interaction, Design, and Business. Waterloo's academic advantage. So as a graduate student, you'll benefit from many things here at Waterloo. I won't read the entire slide, but one of the things we are most proud of is our "you made it, you own it" intellectual property or IP policy. So essentially at the core of entrepreneurship is our IP policy rights 73, which is known as creator owned. So this essentially grants ownership to the inventor. And we feel this is the engine for driving commercialization, success of research-based innovations, and maybe the most entrepreneurial oriented IP policy in North America. So finding your graduate program, things to consider. So what do you hope to achieve? What impacts do you hope to have? And where do you see yourself both professionally and personally at the end of your graduate program? What are your skills and background? All of this plays into what makes or what will be the right program for you. There's a short video on this slide, which I will drop into the chat when we're done. And it just sort of walks you through the various pieces that are important in making that decision. Something else to consider. So I did talk about our 190 plus grad programs. This is sort of a breakdown of the number of grad students in each faculty. So as you can see, our faculty of engineering and our faculty of math take the lead, with our faculty of arts coming in third. So we have 3 study levels. We have course-based masters, research-based masters, and our doctoral programs. So one of the things that we are asked most often is, how do I make that connection with a prospective faculty member? We know that it's an important part of your application, especially when you're looking at those research-based masters and our doctoral programs. So we have, as part of the Graduate Studies and Postdoctoral Affairs website, a section dedicated to our future students or our prospective students. And on there, we provide more in-depth information as well, including a list of programs that are available. And each program has a dedicated page that will provide information on minimum admission requirements, sort of an overview of that program, at a glance information. It'll also let you know if that specific program requires that you have a faculty member confirmed ahead of you submitting an application. I can think of the Department of Biology is a good example where they do want you to have made that connection. So a great way for you to find out who might be a good match, who is taking on new students, is obviously to go to that faculty member's profile page first. So each department will have a set of faculty member profile pages. They will also link you further out to different research groups that that faculty member might be working with, and also will connect you with students that that faculty member is working with and has worked with. And then when you're ready to make that connection, we strongly suggest not sending a generic email. Show them that you've done a bit of research, let them know that you have taken the time to figure out what area of research makes the most sense for you. So do your homework, look at the program, read the website, show them that you have done that homework, and provide some information that will show a connection, why you would be a great match. So this all ties back to that, don't send a generic email, know what you're interested in researching, know who you're writing to, and make sure that the research interests will align, and that you will both be able to collaborate together, and that makes sense, and then be mindful of their time. So, open the door to further discussion about possible supervision over email, see if you can meet them in person, or take advantage of technology now that we have all of these great tools at our service, and set up a virtual meeting. And I strongly recommend that you be succinct. So we know that faculty members are able to read through a set of essays, and they definitely have fine-tuned the art of reading long documents, but that doesn't mean that they want to necessarily read that long email from you. So be succinct, make it tied to their area of interest, and show them that you are making a purposeful connection. So just talking a little bit about what it takes to get in. So I've highlighted sort of what's expected from Columbia here. The University of Waterloo has overarching university level minimum requirements. So at the master's level, you're looking at about a 75% overall standing in your 4-year honors bachelor's degree or equivalent. And at the doctoral level, we're looking for that 75% overall standing or equivalent in your previous degree, as well as the ability to demonstrate other superior qualifications, such as that advanced research ability. And so when I talk about university level minimums, that is what our Senate has set as those regulations. Most programs will have set probably slightly higher. So at the master's level, you're looking at 75 to 78. And at the PhD or doctoral level, you're looking at about 80% or higher for admission. English language proficiency is an important part. I've listed on this slide sort of our 3 bands of scores. We have our standard set of scores, we have an alternative minimum and an alternative higher score. And on the program page that I was mentioning a few minutes ago, it will detail what level of ELP is required for that program. I've also noted our English for Academic Success program, which is an intensive full-term English language program that's offered through Renison University College, which is one of our affiliated institutions here at Waterloo. And they provide this as a service to anybody. You don't have to be a Waterloo student. And you can use that as an alternative to one of the tests. There is an additional cost to take part in this program. In some cases, we know that students or prospective students may have funding that will cover some of that cost as well. Some additional requirements might include specific tests such as the GRE or the GMAT. Most often you're looking to provide references, transcripts, a supplementary information form, which is really a set of program-specific questions, and in some cases a resume or a writing sample might be asked for. Many of our programs have that fixed application deadline. Typically February 1st is the deadline for the fall term. That is our most common deadline. That being said, we have some programs in math and a few standalone programs that have application deadlines that start in December. And so it's really important to look at that program page that I referenced a minute ago and determine what the application deadline is for the program you are interested in applying to. We suggest 2 to 4 weeks. I encourage you to start as early as you can. This ensures that you have the time you need to submit the required documents, and it ensures that your references also have time to submit. So most of our admissions are for fall, which is the September term, but some do have that rolling admission. So you might be able to apply for winter, which starts in January, or spring, which starts in May. And I've just included an email here. I am assuming this slide deck will be provided, but this is the grad admissions at uwaterloo.ca. Myself and my admissions team, we all have access to this. It just allows us to provide a great level of service for any questions that come in. So understanding the costs, tuition and fees, housing costs, health insurance and living expenses. So right now, our international students who are applying to a PhD program who receive funding from a faculty member are guaranteed a funding package of just under $26,000 a year. And in addition to that, we have an international student award, which is what we would consider that tuition differential. And that is another $15,000 roughly that would be added on top of it. So that just what we're trying to do is ensure that our international students are actually being assessed domestic tuition. And so that additional IDSA award provides that tuition differential. We actually do have a budget calculator that will let you identify how you're attending Waterloo, what program you're interested in, and where you might want to live. And that will sort of build out an overarching cost of what it would take to live at Waterloo. Right now at the PhD level, our tuition is about $8,500 for domestic. And then finally, just contact information again. I've included our general website, the main contact for our admissions, and also our Renison English language information. And then I won't play this video for you right now, but I will drop a link into the chat, and then I'm happy to have it open up for questions so we can take any questions that may be available.
Thank you, Julie. Ahora, bueno, vamos a pasar para la sesión de preguntas. Vemos que, bueno, Lady va a leer las preguntas para Julie y para Frederick.
Ya. Listo, entonces para las personas que tengan dudas y preguntas sobre la información que compartieron ambos representantes, pueden enviarlas en la cajita de Q&A. Pueden hacerlo en español o en el mejor de los casos también podrían hacerlo en inglés, así que están invitados a que cualquier duda aprovechen este espacio para tener la información. Y con eso dicho ya vamos a empezar con las que tenemos en la cajita y la primera es de John. Y su pregunta es, ¿Are there any option from a public school or any university with a postgraduate work permit in English?
Is that for me or Julie?
I guess for both of you.
I guess so.
I'm not sure if I understand the question. I mean, all our programs that are more than 8 months, they can give access to the postgraduate work permit. So I don't know if that answers the question.
Yeah, I mean, he's asking about a public school who offers this kind of permit, but you already answered the question.
I mean, we are a public university. However, most of our programs are in French. So, I mean, we do offer an MBA that's given entirely in English. Otherwise, well, especially for the PhD, so all PhD programs in pure and applied sciences, in engineering, health sciences, French is really not that important since there aren't any classes to follow. It's mostly working on their research. So French is not necessary in those particular cases, and they are allowed to write their thesis in and dissertation in English. But otherwise, most of all our other programs will be in French.
Good. We're gonna move on with the second question. It's Maria Tamayo. She's asking, well, it's similar with what you were saying, Frederick. She's asking, are all the programs in French? What level is required?
Okay, well, I answered the first part of our question.
Yeah.
What level is required? It really depends on the program. So like I said, PhD, and basically no French is required. But of course, it will depend on the program. Data information, of course, is available on our website in the program directory.
Good. And also maybe, Julie, can you tell us if you have the same French level required for the programs?
So we don't require French. We would be, except for our French program, we would be looking for English language proficiency results. And those will differ by program as well. So each of our program pages has a summary that provides an overview of those admission requirements, including ELP.
Okay, and can you tell us about the exams? For example, they have to present an IELTS, a TOEFL. Which kind of exam they have to present?
Yeah, so our most common would be IELTS and TOEFL. We accept KLab, MELab, Cambridge English, not Duolingo at the grad level at this time. And then we have our own in-house program, which is the EFAS program.
Okay, good. Then I'm going to answer the question from Fernanda. It's similar about the English requirement and the French requirement. So Fernanda, si tú quieres hacer un programa, pues creo que ya lo mencionaron Julie y Frederick, que es muy importante que tengas pues un buen nivel del idioma certificado, ya sea por, en el caso de inglés, el IELTS o el TOEFL, así que en tu caso, para poder garantizar que puedas llegar a ser admitida a alguno de los programas de ambas universidades, es necesario que tú garantices que tienes en este caso el nivel de idioma. Así que es importante que lo tengas en cuenta. We're gonna go with Manuel. He's asking about the GMAT and the GRE test required to the accounting PhD in University of Waterloo. Is there any exception given your experience, advanced degree?
There may be. It would be at the program's discretion to sort of review that level of experience and understand if they can make a determination that they could waive the GMAT or the GRE.
The next one was Maria, yeah, Fernanda.
Balam.
Balam. The question is, the master programs at Laval are given in French. Does Laval have some kind of intensive French course?
Yes, we do. So our School of Language, we offer intensive French courses during the summertime or just regular courses during the fall or the winter semesters. So all depending on in which program he wants to study, it may be possible to simply follow courses at the same time, French courses at the same time as he's starting his master's or PhD. Here again, it depends on the program.
Okay. We're gonna go with Mauricio. I don't know if Lina, you can help me with Mauricio, he's asking about the call. I don't know if you know the answer about Mauricio Humana, yes.
No, he's saying that he's a master student in epidemiology at the U Laval, but he doesn't get the, I don't know, the scholarship rights. He says that the university webpage, I don't know how to say this. He's looking for a call in EasyTex, is another entity in Colombia who help Colombians to get a sponsorship. But Mauricio, creo que esto te lo voy a responder por el interno.
Okay. We're gonna go on with Jorge. Jorge is asking, do I need experience after finish my career to study in Canada? In other words, in the same moment that I finish my career, I can postulate to Canada in all the universities?
So for me or Julie, or this.
I guess for both of you. He's not.
Well, for most of our programs at Université Laval, professional experience is not a requirement. So it's mostly based on the academic curriculum. There are a few exceptions, but for most, it's basically previous studies that are the basic requirements to be admitted.
Yeah, it would be the same for us. There are a few programs that are looking for specific experience, but generally it is that academic.
We're gonna go with Laura. This question is for Laval. And she's asking, what is the price on average of a master's degree in arts or design?
Just give me a quick sec. I'm just gonna look on my websites. There is a small difference of price between either a professional master's or a research master's. Just give me a sec. Just looking for the page. Okay, so if we're looking at yearly tuition for a whole year, so for 24 credits, for a master's, a research-based master's, it's 16,000.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can hear you.
Okay, sorry. I think my mic just.
Me there. So as I was saying, for a research-based master's, it's 16,800. And for a professional master's, it's a little bit more. It's $19,000 per year.
Okay.
So that's for the master's level. And
Okay.
since we're talking about it at the PhD level, it's $3,300, since all our international students will benefit from the exemption program.
Okay. Good. We're gonna go with Sebastian. This question is for Waterloo, and he's asking about accommodation. How easy is to get accommodation like closer to your university?
So housing can be a bit of an issue. We know that there are limited on-campus or residence available. We do have some specific graduate student residences and graduate student family residences, but they are limited in scope. So then you're looking at renting nearby. So there are, you know, even though we seem to have a lot of buildings and there's been a lot of development, there is still an issue with the availability of housing and also the cost of housing.
Okay, good. And then we have Lara, and she's asking about the scholarships that you offer from Waterloo.
So if you're looking at master's level programs, we don't have minimum funding requirements, we have guidelines. So depending on the type of program, if you're looking at coursework, you will find that there's far less funding available. If you're looking at master's research, there is funding available depending on the faculty member. Most of the time at Waterloo, money is funneled from faculty member research grants. And then we have additional funds available for emergencies, some merit-based awards, some financial need awards. And then at the PhD level, there's a minimum funding guarantee of just under $26,000 a year. And then there's also for international students at the PhD level, a tuition differential.
Okay. And then we have a question. Well, me gustaría, antes de seguir, se me olvidó que iba a complementar la pregunta de Laura. Entonces, sí, en el caso de Colfuturo, como ya lo mencionaban, hay un convenio entre el consorcio Caldo y Colfuturo como tal, y este convenio les otorga el beneficio como tal de un porcentaje de descuento que es resultado del convenio, y la otra parte viene a ser el programa de Colfuturo, que sí ofrece como tal una financiación para temas de matrícula, de manutención, sostenimiento y seguro. Así que en el caso de lo que tú preguntas, Laura, si tú te postulas en este caso al beneficio que hay como resultado del convenio con alguna de las universidades que pertenecen a Caldo, podría recibir ese beneficio propio y adicionalmente el sistema de financiación de Colfuturo, que te cubriría en este caso esos rubros que tú mencionas de matrícula y de manutención, simplemente para adicionar esa información. Y aprovecho también para tocar la pregunta de Ana, que nos está preguntando sobre el convenio entre Colfuturo y el consorcio Caldo. Y para eso quiero remitirme a la página web de Colfuturo, simplemente para que ustedes pues, puedan tener la información pues, de manera más rápida y que más adelante también la puedan revisar. Y en este caso pueden dirigirse a la página de Colfuturo, van a la sección de becas y van a encontrar que pues hay un filtro, en este caso por país, por universidad. La invitación es que hagan el filtro por Canadá y van a encontrar el consorcio Caldo y van a encontrar el documento que describe el apoyo que se tiene con cada una de las universidades. Así que la invitación, vayan a la página, descarguen el convenio y van a poder leer cuáles son esos porcentajes de ayuda que se dan como resultado del convenio entre Colfuturo y el consorcio Caldo. Eso para responder un poco sobre esas dos preguntas. Y volviendo ahora sí, vamos con la pregunta de Balam. Y esta pregunta es para Laval and Waterloo. And the question is, how usual is for master's students to stay in Canada after their studies?
I know that there is a great interest for many of our students to stay. With the postgraduate work permit availability, there's always that option. I don't have stats at the moment. I apologize. I don't have actual numbers, but I know that we have a great group of immigration consultants who are also happy to work with our grads around making sure that they are able to get their postgrad work permit and then look for employment for that duration of that permit.
Yeah, and on my side, well, same as Julie said, usually when you complete your master's degree in the allotted time, so if you maintain a full-time status during your master's degree and you don't work more than the hours that are allowed, usually you can have a your postgraduate work permit that lasts for 3 years. And during that time, if you're interested, you can apply for the permanent residency. So I know it's not, if you respect all the requirements, it's not that hard to obtain the postgraduate work permits. However, to obtain the permanent residency, that might be harder immigration-wise to obtain. But as Université Laval as well, we have many immigration advisors that can help you out at that stage in your, well, after your studies.
Then we're going to move on with Jadi, and the question is for Waterloo. She's asking, what is the average price for a master program in this university?
So we are similar in that there is a difference between our professional and our research programs. One of the more common, or one of the more sought after coursework masters is within the Faculty of Engineering. And there is, for international students, there is a cost of about $45,000 to take that program. So that is much higher, and there is no funding. They have recently come out with co-op options with that one as well. So it will help offset the price. When you're looking at a research-based master's program at the international level, it's about $25,000. And typically that would be per year for 2 years. And then there are others in between. So some of our other professional programs are different prices depending on what they are.
Okay, good. We're gonna go on with Nicolas. And the question is for Laval. He's asking, regarding what you talk about French courses available for enrolled students, is it possible to receive a kind of conditional admission where one should take certain courses during or before starting the PhD?
Here again, I'm gonna say it depends. It may be possible, but that's something to discuss with your potential research supervisor. So depending on your level right now of French, it may be possible, yes, to get a conditional offer, depending if you have to just take 1 or 2 classes during your studies, or if your French is less advanced, they may require that you attain a certain level of French before starting the program. But yeah, that's something to discuss with the research supervisor.
Okay, good. We're gonna go with Daniel, and this question is for Julie. He's asking that you were talking about a study option that has an English program to improve the skills. Can you tell us more about that?
Yep. So we have what is called English for Academic Success, and it is a term-long intensive program. And we are so there are benefits to it in that we can make a conditional offer that a student has to complete EFAS instead of providing an ELP test, or to say, you know, please improve your English language skills by taking EFAS. But there is a cost to the student. If that is of interest, they will be evaluated by Renison. They will then be placed into the appropriate level, and they will have to obtain a score that matches the requirements of that program. So we have determined what EFAS score is required based on our standard ELP requirements, and that is all available.
Okay, good. And we're gonna conclude with Mariale, and this question is also for Julie. And the question is there some scholarship given for you for University of Waterloo to a program of environment master?
There are different scholarships. So there are a number of scholarships that you don't even have to apply for. So depending on the faculty and depending on the supervisor, if it is a research-based master's, there will be access to different funds. And so you may receive an entrance award, you may be invited to apply for other awards, or you may receive what we would call graduate research studentship, which is scholarship money provided by the faculty member.
Okay, good. So we do not have more questions. So I don't know, Lina, if you wanna give us more information, or we are gonna finish the session.
No, I think we are good right now. Thank you, Frederick. Thank you, Julie, for your time. I think this session would be amazing for the people who was joining us. Gracias a todos. Que tengan muy buena noche y espero que les haya servido esta información. Cualquier duda que tengan, no olviden en escribirnos. Yo les voy a dejar en el chat los contactos de todos los que estamos, los panelistas.
Bueno, mientras Lina nos envía la información, me gustaría simplemente hacer un pequeño recordatorio, y es que si alguno o alguna está interesado en acceder a este beneficio que ustedes van a encontrar en la página que les mostré como resultado de nuestro convenio entre Colfuturo y Caldo, pueden postularse a la próxima convocatoria del programa Crédito Beca, que es la forma de acceder a este beneficio como resultado del convenio, que va a abrir el próximo 9 de enero del 2024 y tendrán hasta el 29 de febrero del mismo año para hacer su proceso de postulación. Si Colfuturo llega a seleccionarlos o seleccionarlas, nosotros vamos a enviar en este caso su nombre a cada una de las universidades, sea Waterloo, sea Laval, y cada universidad se va a encargar como tal de hacer su proceso de selección y revisar si se les va a otorgar o no ese beneficio del convenio. Así que simplemente para que si están interesados, recuerden esas fechas para postularse y llegar a acceder a este beneficio.
Listo, ya nuestra información está en el chat. Si tienen alguna duda, nos pueden escribir directamente y con muchísimo gusto los vamos a ayudar. Eso es todo por hoy. Muchísimas gracias a todos. Thank you, Julie and Frederick again. Thank you, lady. Have a good night.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.